Imagine a city so vast and chaotic that a killer could strike, vanish, and no one would even notice. 1888, London's East End. 5 women brutally killed, throats slashed, organs removed, surgical precision. And still today, no one knows who did it. What allowed a monster to escape justice, without a trace? Stick around. By the end, you'll question everything you believed about this infamous case. By the late 19th century, London was booming, and rotting from within. The East End was home to the poorest of the poor, immigrants, laborers, prostitutes. Imagine navigating crooked alleys under flickering gaslight, where every shadow felt like a trap. Life expectancy hovered around 45, death was routine, and the authorities struggled to keep up. It's easy to romanticize Victorian London, think Sherlock Holmes and polite gatherings. But in reality, slums ruled, and misery was endemic. Jack the Ripper exploited this chaos. Between August and November 1888, the canonical 5 were found brutally killed: Mary Ann Nichols, Annie Chapman, Elizabeth Stride, Catherine Eddowes, Mary Jane Kelly. What shocked everyone was not just the violence, but a chilling surgical method. Some had intestines removed, others mutilated in ways that hinted at anatomical knowledge. But this didn't necessarily mean a surgeon, just someone confident in darkness. In 2009, a local historian uncovered a 19th century medical assistant who'd vanished suddenly, raising speculation he'd panicked at the first killing. Though unproven, it demonstrates how one rumor highlights the impossibility of certainty. Over 2,000 people questioned. 300 kept under surveillance. 80 detained. But the police had nothing: no fingerprints, photography in infancy, no crime scene protocol. Imagine this in today's terms: no CCTV, no databases, just pencil and paper lists. And on top of that, authorities had little support from locals, many didn't trust them or feared retaliation. A district informant once withheld information because she'd been beaten for snitching: legitimate fear, crippling consequences. Montague Druitt, barrister-teacher, body found in Thames shortly after final killing. Suicide. Coincidence? George Chapman, Soren K., Polish immigrant turned poisoner, called Doctor locally. Did pandemic of poison cover up earlier violence? James Maybrick, Liverpool Diary claims he was Ripper, handwriting experts torn. Michael Ostrog, con man and fraudster, mental asylum escapee posing as Dr. Prince Albert Victor, royalty rumored syphilis-induced madness, historically debunked, but conspiracy thrives. Aaron Kosminski, Scholl DNA in 2014 linked to his descendants. But evidence chain was weak. Karl Feigenbaum, German sailor executed in New York, confession later recanted. Lewis Carroll, fringe theory based on diary metaphors, widely dismissed by scholars. Every suspect tells us more about our need for closure than truth. From royalty to pawnbroker, it became easier to blame someone we know, rather than a ghost in the fog. Lack of technology: no DNA, fingerprints, surveillance, forensic pathology, victim marginalization, prostitutes were invisible, murder of working-class women stirred less public outrage. Chaos as cover: densely populated, disorderly areas were perfect for disappearing acts. Possible help from above: if a nobleman was involved, authorities might suppress evidence, but more likely, panic-induced bureaucratic failure fueled miscommunication and false leads, leaving no coherent suspect. Think of it like a perfect storm: poor victims, poor policing, poor record sharing, plus a killer who crafted his own invisibility cloak. His name still reverberates, not just for body count, but for what he symbolizes: failure of society and justice. So what keeps us hooked? The unknown. We desperately hang on to threads of evidence, hoping to untangle them. But maybe the real takeaway is this: societies that ignore marginalized suffering sow seeds of chaos. Modern parallels: cold cases from decades ago are often pushed aside, until new tech revives them. But the Ripper case reminds us, without early intervention, truth can slip into legend. Jack the Ripper's true identity may never be known. But the story forces us to confront inequality, forensic evolution, and institutional hubris. The Ripper was not just a killer, he was a symptom of his times. And perhaps that's the enduring mystery. Unequal societies breed injustice, and injustice breeds chaos. Let Jack the Ripper's story remind us, every person, even society's most vulnerable, deserves protection. What do you think? Royal cover-up or murderous nobody? Comment below. If you want more deep dives into history's greatest mysteries, subscribe and turn on notifications. Until next time.